Episode 6, A Father Who Was Never Truly There. Sometimes healing begins not when we are alone in our pain, but when someone else looks at us and says, "Me too." Yesterday, I was speaking with a friend. She opened her heart to me, and as she spoke, I realized that her story was not just hers. It was mine. It was yours. It was the story of so many men and women walking this earth with invisible wounds. She told me about her childhood, about a father who was never truly there. Maybe not physically absent, but emotionally unreachable. A man trapped in his own pain, unable to give what he never received. And as she spoke, I saw my own reflection in her words, because I too grew up waiting for a father who never truly arrived. When I was 9, I left Morocco with my mother and siblings to join my father in Italy. For years, I imagined him as a hero, the man who would finally make everything better. But when I met him, the illusion broke. He was distant, cold, unkind in ways that a child cannot understand, yet never forgets. He used to say we were a burden. He told us to pretend we had no father. And so I learned far too early how to exist without needing anyone. At 9 years old, I stopped being a child. I became my own protector, my own comfort, my own shield. But you see, when a child is forced to grow too soon, she learns to survive, not to live. She learns to fight, not to receive. She learns to be strong, but forgets how to be soft. And this is where the silent wound begins, the wound of the feminine energy that was never allowed to rest. Years later, when I lost my job and all the noise around me faded, I could finally hear the voice that I had buried deep within me. It was the voice of my feminine energy, whispering, "You have protected me for too long. Now it's time for me to heal." It was then I realized something sacred. Every woman who has been forced to be strong her entire life carries a deep exhaustion in her bones, an exhaustion that comes from doing it all alone, from pretending she doesn't need love, from being her own warrior and her own healer. But there comes a moment, if she listens closely, when she feels the divine invitation to rest, to stop fighting, to stop fixing, and to finally receive. Because the truth is, many of us were never taught how to receive. We were told love must be earned, worth must be proven, softness is weakness. But these are lies passed down through generations of wounded parents. Our fathers did not know how to love because no one showed them how. Our mothers did not know how to nurture themselves because no one told them they mattered. And so the healing begins with us, when we decide to break the chain, when we no longer pass the wound forward, when we choose to meet our own inner child with the love she has always deserved. If you grew up with a father who made you feel unseen, unwanted, or unloved, please remember this. It was never because you were not enough. It was because he was empty, and emptiness cannot pour love into anyone. So tonight, maybe you can close your eyes and place your hand on your heart. Whisper softly, "I am safe now. I am loved. I am enough." And if your body trembles, let it. If your eyes fill with tears, let them flow. This is not weakness. This is release. Forgiveness will come later. Understanding will come later. For now, let your only job be to love the child inside you who tried to be brave. Because one day, you will look back at the same pain and see that it wasn't here to destroy you. It was here to open you, to teach you that love is not something you beg for. It is something you become. And remember, even when the world forgets you, God never does. The hands that hurt you may have shaped your pain, but it is your heart that will shape your healing.